Kaizer Chiefs will be looking to make it 3 wins in a row. That would be beautiful. But how will Nabi and his team line up to make sure that this is a possibility? Well, as it happens, that's exactly what we're talking about. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. So we will start with the very simple thing. In goal is Brendan Peterson, who, by the way, I hate it when people say, "Oh, Brendan Peterson is making a lot of saves," but that's his job. So we only say good things, we only say bad things, and we never say good things. When we criticize him for doing a bad job, we should also be able to tell him that he's doing a good job. Which brings us to the right back, and that is Utabiso Munyane. I will say something about Munyane. He has helped the Chiefs in more ways than one, right? The main way is obviously the quality that he has brought to the team. He's been massive. But the second thing is, did you see what happened when Riff Rosler came on last match? He came on and he looked like he wanted to play. He looked like, he's being kept honest by Utabiso Monyane. So I think that Umonyane has been really big help to Kaizer Chiefs in terms of the competition that he also offers to the team. And I think that he will continue playing. One other thing that I will say about Monyane, which means the right back position is still very much in contention. I saw that him and Lilepo, they did not have as good of an understanding as Frosler and Lilepo do. By the way, I'm not saying Munyane was bad. It's saying that Munyane is new at Chiefs, so they do not understand each other as much with Ulilepo. Because when Frosler came on, you saw that the understanding between the two was much better. They were quick to, if one inverts the other one overlaps. So I hope that that relationship also gets better because Lilepo is not the quickest player, but you need someone who is quick to be on that side. But that does not mean Lilepo is playing, by the way. We're going to talk about that later on. Which brings us to Inacio Miguel, who, by the way, is being targeted now because people are saying, oh, Dudley is coming back and he's going to take his position. Can we just stay in the moment and enjoy Uguti? Right now, the team has played 2 games and has kept 2 clean sheets, and somehow people want to change that. Speaking of not changing things, let's talk about the other center back, which is Aiden McCarthy. He's been a revelation. He has really been good for the team, and you can bet your bottom dollar that he's going to have a very good game. Speaking of betting, that's where we come to today's sponsor, because this video is brought to you by EasyBet. You can sign up to EasyBet today, and when you do sign up, they'll give you a 50 rands bonus just for signing up. And with your first deposit, they will match it to 150%. For our 50 rand, they give you 150% of that money. So it's happening there. Remember, by the way, to gamble responsibly. This is not for those who are under the age of 18. Go to easybet.co.za, sign up, and use the code MPILO to get these powerful discounts that I just talked about. Which then brings us to the next player, and that is Bradley Cross. I know, Marco came on last week and he had a very good game. And now, since Marco came on and had a very good game, there are now people who want to dismiss Ukros because they've been waiting for a moment where they can say, but Marco came on and he did this. The guy has played 2 solid games since the season started, Bradley Cross, and is not disappointed. Let's not want to fix things that are not broken. That back 4, back 5, because I'm including the goalkeeper, has done a good job together. Let's not rush into saying, oh, the coach maybe must experiment with Shinga now, or must experiment with Marco. No. Leave the team as it is. Leave Umlungu there. Let him play in that position. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Which brings us to midfield, with the first one being Utabo Cele. Now, we have to talk about Utabo Cele, obviously, because Cele so far this season has not been great, right? However, that does not mean it's now time to dismiss him, because I've seen some people saying, oh, Cele is not the player that he was. Like Umchida came to Chiefs last season, beginning of the year. He transformed the way Chiefs were playing. Like we're all mesmerized when we saw him play. But now he's had like a few bad games because I think even towards the end of last season, the last 2 or 3 games were not that great. But the man was carrying an injury. I remember even when he was taken off in the final, you could see he still wanted to play, but you could see even when he was playing that he couldn't do it anymore. So Mchita was playing with an injury. He's probably still carrying that injury, but he's playing. And you have people who are already talking about having honest conversations about Tuchel. Guys, we just need to calm down, okay? We just need to calm down. He's gonna play. Because if it doesn't play, I think it would also be something that will feel bad to him from the coaching perspective. Okay, so this is how it works here. I can play 10 good games and then 2 bad games and then you drop me. What kind of message does it send to players that we don't have your back, right? So that just creates players to make them always play under pressure because they know if they don't perform, they will be out on the bench. Yes, players should perform, but they shouldn't think that 1 game, then you're out. No. Which brings us to his partner. Yeah. Yes. Ox Mtetwa. We are playing Richards Bay, people, and Richards Bay will be trying to hit Chiefs on counters. Now, when I was thinking about this, I actually paused and thought of a midfield three that did not include Umtetwa. And it was quite functional, the midfield three that I thought of. And I will share that. I thought it would be Ucele sitting as a 6, not doing this box to box thing, because I did say to people, there are players who are just good as deep lying playmakers. Basically, that's what Ucele excels in. When we're building out from the back, he's very good at getting the ball and progressing it to Abom Tutuzi, who can then do the things that side. But Ucele ungamfaki lapho. Uright la kwethi half alanda ibhola and then awele just over the half a connect. But mawufuna box to box kuyamhlula because manje kudemanda too much, and because of that ugcina ungasatholi the best. You end up not getting the best out of him. So I do think that he is a deep lying playmaker. He can be a 6 and hold there, but I just don't think that after the performances that Ox has had and the fact that we are going to play a team that will try to counter and play a lot of counter attacks, that we will drop him. So I think that he will play. By the way, to finish my thought, I thought it would be Cele sitting, Ngobo, and Dusha Balala. But I don't think that would be the case because I think the 10 will be played by Unkosing Pile Ngobo. I mean, it's the only logical move that you could think of. I say this because Dusha Balala is the next player that I'm gonna count as a left winger. Now, Sereno was playing as a left winger last week and he was cutting in from the left and then, inverting and becoming basically a second 10. The problem is they were clashing a lot with Umtu Shabalala and Umtu ended up looking lost. So I think that they will give that role to Umtu Shabalala to then do what Sereno was trying to do. And then if it doesn't work with Umtu Shabalala, there's always Upule Modi who can come on second half. Sereno can come on and do the very same thing. And they can even bring Mfundo Villagaz on the right and take whoever is going to be playing as a right winger to the left. So there's a lot of flexibilities because at the end of the day, we do see that Chiefs wants to play 4 people in midfield. The 2 defensive midfielders, or just say the double pivots, and then the 10, and then the 1 winger who's going to invert into that midfield. And sometimes it could even be 5 if they decide to cross goes in there. But to cross, if to invert, then means to cross will hold the weight on the left-hand side. But we move to the next position, and that is Umakabi Glody Lilepo on the right. I watched Sundowns play. I watched Pirates play. I already know the one of the principles, one of the coaching principles is there must be in your team, there must be width and there must be depth. When I say width, I mean wide. There must be people who are wide on the line or stretching the defense. Just have someone wide. There must be depth, which means in midfield you must have people. Chiefs address this by having 4 in midfield, and then they'll have Lilepo staying on the line. This frustrates a lot of people because they think, why is Lilepo staying on the line? Why is he not coming in to play the ball? The problem is, if Lilepo comes in to play the ball, then he's basically made it easy for the team that's marking us, because now all they have to deal with is everyone who's just in this one area, like 10-year-olds. But if you have a winger who's staying on the line, then that makes them think, oh no, do we try to stay with him, or do we focus on the people who are here in the middle? And if they focus on the middle, all it takes is for Chiefs to quickly switch the ball to Lilepo's side, and then it starts the attack on that side. Or sometimes if the ball is played on Lilepo's side and he's staying on the line, that means the left back goes to him, creating a gap between the center back and the left back. And when that happens, we can now find ways of playing through those small gaps and then creating opportunities. So don't complain when you see Lilepo staying on the line. It's by design. It's not because he's lazy and he just wants to stay on the line. Which brings us to the striker, and that is Utuba. Again, I was thinking about it. I thought maybe they will bench Utuba and bring on Flavio Silva. But then I thought to myself, but if they start him, wouldn't they want him to come in as an impact player and not be under that much pressure? Rather play Utuba, who's already used to this league, and then ease Silva in, especially given the fact that even Pirates fans were booing their own players. And that shows you that when teams are playing under pressure, problems ensue. Even with the Chiefs last week at Stadium, people should stop this. They were already booing some players. I'm like, what is this? Even Lilepo, they were already boos directed at him. I'm like, what in the nonsense is this? So I think that they will try and keep Utuba, because not only is he good with his fighting spirit, is he going to try and pull defenders? There's also that element of understanding between him and him too. And if you add Ngobo to that as well, that just becomes a deadly combination. So I think that's how the team is going to play. But what do you think? And have you subscribed? If you haven't, do make sure to subscribe. Go check out the analysis of how Sundowns played with Pirates, or check out how Chiefs beat who were they playing last week? Them. You see how they beat Polokwane. Check this video out on the cutback. Like the video, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals I'll